I was like, fuck yeah, sounds like a great idea. So I pile into a car filled with strangers and headed out to find Santa Claus. What could go wrong?
One of my best friends in the world. You guys are gonna absolutely love him. Please give it up for Mr. Steve Rannazzisi, everybody.
I love pot. I love it. People think that I actually have a problem with pot, but I don't remember their fucking names, so it doesn't matter to me. Doesn't affect me at all. But I don't like traveling with pot. Being a comedian, you gotta travel all over the place. I'm not good going through the airport. I'm paranoid enough as it is. I'm usually high on the way to the airport, so the last thing I need is to be my own drug mule going through TSA worrying about getting busted, you know? Last time I did it, Ari told me, just put some joints in an airtight thing and put it in your underwear. They have these little airtight containers, so I put the joints in the airtight thing and I put it in my underwear. And as I'm going through TSA, it starts to slip down my pants leg. And now I'm like, oh boy, if it falls out, this is it. So I'm dead legging it the rest of the way through the airport. This is like, please. People are like, can we get the man with cerebral palsy a wheelchair, please? Please. So I don't do that anymore. But luckily for me, I played a character named Kevin on a TV show called The League for a couple of years. Yeah, thank you. And the show's got a huge demographic, so I'm taken care of. A lot of heavy handshakes on the road. Everybody wants to smoke pot with Kevin. Everybody. Oh shit, it's Kevin. Let's fucking smoke. No one gives any shits about Steve. No. Steve is just a vessel to take drunk and stone Kevin wherever he has to go. But this pot, it doesn't come free. You know, you think, oh, you're just gonna get free pot on the road. No. There's a price you pay. Yeah. Awkward conversations. Dealing with people who aren't used to smoking pot. I smoke a fucking shit ton of pot. I'm used to it. But you will get people who just smoke so much that they just smoke themselves onto the spectrum. You know, they smoke themselves special. They'll just stare at you. And you got to deal with these people. You're amongst strangers. You don't want to be rude, so you're just like you're hanging out with them, and they'll just stand there lingering, staring at you. You know, introducing themselves multiple times, asking questions, answering questions nobody else asked. Just weird. Ugh. You try not to. Hey man, I think our time here is done. They don't pick up on any social cues, so you have to deal with these people. I call these people pot blockers. Okay? They block the fun for everybody else. We all want to be fun on pot, and you're ruining it for us. So I stay away from the pot blockers. And now, recently I was in Nashville, and after my first show, I was doing stand-up, after the first show, talking to people, hanging out after, smoking joints with the staff, some fans hanging out, and it was real shit dirt weed. So I'm not usually like this, but I was like, hey, I don't want to be an asshole, but does anyone have any better weed than this? You know, like I didn't come to Nashville for this shit weed. And they were like, oh, let's go to Santa's, and I got some friends, we could smoke pot there. And I was like, fuck yeah, sounds like a great idea. So I pile into a car filled with strangers and headed out to find Santa Claus. What could possibly go wrong, guys? What could go wrong? And as I'm they're driving, we're smoking more of this shit weed, and I'm starting to get paranoid because I'm seeing less and less civilization and more making a murderer, you know? I don't know if we passed Stephen Avery's house, but I think I saw him. And now I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting nervous because I'm like, this is it. I know what I'm in the middle of. I'm being kidnapped. I'm in the middle of being This is kidnapping 101. This is the first thing you would teach it. Hey, you would be like, hey buddy, hey you like puppies? Yeah, my friend Santa's got all the puppies. He's got them, get in the van. He's got them in a bucket at home, he'll give you one. Okay, I'll get in the van. So I'm nervous, and then all of a sudden I see one of the passengers with goes, oh, we're here, we reached it. This is Santa's Pub. And that's where we were going, Santa's Pub. Santa's Pub is the #1 dive bar in Nashville. And it's not really, have you been there before? It's not really a bar as much as it is a double-wide trailer that they tried to convert into a bar and just shoved it into the middle of the woods. It looks like Santa Claus went through a really bad divorce in the 70s, and this is all Mrs. Claus would give him. Just take your shanty shack and sit in the woods, fat man. Here's a great example of the clientele that goes to Santa's pub. Beer is $1, water is $2. Yes. So any place, think about it, any place where beer is less expensive than water and you're not in Flint, Michigan, you're gonna have a good time. So I was like, fuck it, let's go into this Santa's hovel. We walk inside and they do karaoke every night. Karaoke 7 nights a week. Because it's Nashville and everyone can sing. Everybody, they take it seriously. Everyone's hanging out, they're singing, they're getting their songs together. And this dirt weed must have started kicking in because now I'm in the book and I'm like, what? I'm already picking out my third song. I've got 1 and 2. I've got I'm Too Sexy, followed by Pink Cadillac. In my mind, this is, I would have taken the house down with Pink Cadillac. And all of a sudden everyone went nuts because that's when Santa showed up. The guy that owns the place, Santa's pub, and he was with his buddy. And this Santa Claus, he takes it very seriously, okay? This is not ironic Santa. He's got the beard, the hair, all white, the big belly, except he puts his own little twist on it, okay? He looks like Santa Claus gave up all that Christmas nonsense 20 years ago and started making meth in the woods with his friends. It's a little rough around the edge of this Santa Claus. I was fixated on it, I couldn't believe it. But everybody else was so psyched. They didn't care about Santa, they cared about his friend. They were like, oh shit, he's here. I'm like, who? Like, that guy's the greatest unknown singer in Nashville. I'm like, really? The guy in pajama pants, Tevas, and a t-shirt in the middle of the woods? They're like, oh no, that guy's got a voice of an angel. I'm like, oh sure, I heard that's how Springsteen started out too. They go, you have to hear him sing. I'm like, well, when does he go on? They go, well, he smokes pot with Santa around the back of the trailer, and then he goes on whenever he feels like it. And all I heard was smokes pot with Santa, and I fucking beelined for the door. I was like, I'm going to find these fuckers. 30 seconds later, I am slopping through the snow in Jordans around the back of this double wide trailer, pitch black, I can't see anything, and all I'm going is, Santa? Santa? Is Santa here? Finally, I look over and I see 3 people. I see Santa Claus, the angel voice guy, and a third person who was holding court. The guy was in the middle of the conversation talking. And I walked up to them, right? And they must have heard me coming because they stopped talking and they were shocked. I guess that's the way you would be if a stranger came tumbling out of the woods and interrupted your conversation. So I didn't want to seem weird. So I just was like, okay, I'm just going to introduce myself. So I walk up to Santa and I was like, hey, Santa. Hey, my name is Steve, and I'm super excited to meet you, and I really love your place. And he just stared at me like, does this motherfucker think I'm the real Santa Claus? He probably thought, like, is he gonna sit on my lap and tell me he wants a 10-speed for Christmas next? So I was like, oh, okay, strike one. So I turned to the second guy, the angel voice guy, and I'm like, hey, man, my name's Steve. Nice to meet you. I heard you got a great voice. You going on tonight? And he's like, yup. And I was like, angel voice just left me for dead. And I was like, strike 2. So I turned to the third guy, and before I could say anything, he goes, hey, I'm Bob. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. All right, Bob, look at us. What a crew we got out here. We got Crystal Meth Kringle, Susan Boyle, and Bob. Nice, let's smoke pot. Except this Bob wasn't any old Bob, all right? This was just a run-of-the-mill Bob you run into. This guy, his real name was Robert James Ritchie. Does that ring a bell to anyone? Yeah, you may know him by his better-known name, Kid Rock. Yes. I interrupted Kid Rock's conversation, and he wasn't fucking psyched. He was staring at me like I was Tommy Lee's dick, just like, what the fuck is this guy doing here? And now I'm starting to put all this together. I was like, I interrupted their conversation. I'm asking questions. I'm lingering. Holy shit, I'm the pot blocker now. Fuck, how do I get out of this? But you know what? I didn't want to get out of it. I wanted to stay there, because how many times in your life are you gonna get an opportunity to smoke pot with Santa Claus and Kid fucking Rock? I mean, if you asked me in 1994, what do you want for Christmas? Smoke pot with Santa and Kid Rock. And maybe instead of angel voice, it would have been the fucking Joe C guy, the little guy that Kid Rock used to hang out with. He would have been the other guy there. So I was like, I'm gonna stall and try to wait for someone to pull out some sticky icky and let's get this party going. So everyone is still staring at me like I am a science project. So I go, okay, what do I do next? So I turn to Bob and go, hey Bob, are you gonna go on tonight? And he goes, what do you think? And I just went, okay. And then all of a sudden, thank goodness, out of the front patio, you hear someone go, hey Kevin, we got more weed. And I was like, oh, that's me guys, I gotta get out of here. And I turned and started shame slopping my way back around the front. And as I got about 10 feet away, I heard Angel Voice go, he doesn't even know his own name. And they started laughing, and I was like, oh, this is a low. This is a true low. So I got up front to the front patio, and everyone was like, hey, did you get to see Santa Claus? Did you find him? I'm like, yeah, I found Santa Claus. And you could have told me Kid Rock was around the corner, too. And they're like, oh, bullshit, Kid Rock. I go, yeah, Kid Rock's right there. He's around the corner. I go, oh, fuck you, Kid Rock's there. I go, listen, I understand that I am a known liar, but Kid Rock, I understand. Trust me, I get it. But I promise you, Kid Rock is 100 feet away around the corner. And they all went for him. And I used that to slowly back my way. And I got into a cab and I got the fuck out of there. And the cab driver's driving home. And you start to replay what what have I done? This is not good. And I'm like, how do I make up for this? How do I make this better? And I text my friend Chris Porter. Chris Porter, comedian, very funny comedian. He's also great friends with Kid Rock. And I texted him, and I was like, dude, I think I just met Kid Rock, and it didn't go well at all. And just please let him know that I am not mentally challenged. And I went to bed feeling much better about myself. And I woke up in the morning to a text message from Chris Porter. It was a screen grab. And he had cut and pasted exactly what I had sent to him and sent it to Kid Rock. And Kid Rock wrote back, I shit you not. On my son's lives, yes, he is, period. And I can't say I disagree. Thank you guys very much. Thank you.